For joining us to tell us more is Giles Peppiatt, Director of South African Art at Bonhams. Thanks very much indeed for joining us here. Now, what's unusual about this particular bunch of art?
I think what is unusual is what it depicts, which is really concentrating on the Boer War, the Anglo-Boer War. And so much of history is written by the victors. This is seeing it very much from the angle of, well, the losers of the Boers, which essentially is the Afrikaans community. And it was a seminal moment for the Afrikaans.
In fact, it was a seminal moment, and it is also a moment that lasts to this day.
Correct.
It really resonates with. If you want to understand anything about Afrikaners, you have to go back to the Boer War. Now, some of these pictures are very, very bleak. It's a defeated group, but the passion is still there.
Absolutely. I mean, what John did was take the Boer War and then paint this series of 15 narrative works. Now, he's not saying that these are actual situations that occurred. They are imaginary, but they depict the Boer War and what happened. For example, the razing of the farms, that scorched earth policy, which caused huge resentment amongst the Boers.
And of course, there were concentration camps. The British set up concentration camps, and the memory of that lingers to this day. I mean, Afrikaners in South Africa don't even want to talk to English-speaking.
There is still that rift, and there are some farms in the Free State where an English-speaking voice has not been heard. And no, there is still a very strong resentment between the Afrikaner community and the English, and a lot of it stems from this war. And certainly, I mean, John, who's, I think, one of the best contemporary landscape artist, has depicted it wonderfully, and certainly some of these views you can feel the heat, certainly the landscapes.
And,
wonderful.
It's actually in the Waterberg, which is a region of North Limpopo province. It's also where there's the Waterberg rhino, and this is all linked to that.
It is. The show, we had an auction last night for Tusk, the charity, is Prince William's conservation charity, and we sold one work depicting the Waterberg, and it did very well. It sold for, well, in Rand about 1.2 million, which is a lot of money.
A lot of money.
And so we were delighted about that, and that in fact was a world record for his prices. But no, they have this big conservation project for the rhino in the Waterberg. So it was a wonderful tie-in to have that work, which was kindly donated by John.
So who was there at the exhibition?
Well, it was actually an awful lot of the South African community here in London and Europe. A lot of them came across, quite a few Afrikaans individuals, and it was wonderful to see them all in our galleries, admiring these works, and then bidding very enthusiastically for this painting.
And of course it will be a little bit of a home for them, won't it?
Yes, I mean, and certainly, I mean, we conduct sales twice a year of African art, South African art, and a lot of the people who are buying in those sales are buying through sentimentality.
Indeed. Okay, well, thanks very much indeed for joining us.